Hi, this is Julianne Blake, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do the flat felled seam. It is a two-step process, so the first thing you need to make sure is that your fabric is wrong sides together. We're going to do the first seam allowance as 5/8, so make sure you look at your 5/8. And I always like to make sure both of my stitching rows are on the side where the needle stitch is used. By doing that, you'll get the prettier stitch because the needle stitch is the prettier stitch. Line up to the 5/8, get ready to back stitch, and then stitch forward. When you get to the opposite end, stop and back stitch. Clip your thread tails. Now we need to press this seam to one side, and I'm going to press it to the right. Get that nice and flat. Then we're going to open up and move out of the way the left seam allowance, and we're going to trim the right seam allowance down to 1/8. So you're actually cutting 1/2 of it off, leaving 1/8 on. So put all the rest of your fabric to the left. You can mark it, or you can just eyeball it and cut it off. Now we'll take our remaining seam allowance and we're going to turn under the raw edge 1/4 inch. It's important that you're very accurate with this. So measure. Once you've done that, open up your two sides again, and what's remaining on top should be 3/8. Fold it down and repress. Get it nice and flat. This is an enclosed seam that's used a lot for men's tailored shirts and jeans. We're now going to edge stitch right here. Being a sample, we're going to stop 2/3 down so we can see our first steps. And the important thing is, besides being right on the edge here, we want our stitch parallel to our first stitch. I like to have the left side of my presser foot lined right up to my first stitching, and then I adjust my needle position so that it's going to stitch close to the edge. But I train my eye right here. That's where I'm going to look. Back stitch, stitch forward. I'm close to the edge, staying parallel to my first row of stitching. Stop 2/3 down and back stitch. Clip your thread tails. This is what it will look like on the right side, and this is what it looks like on the back side. Nicely finished. This is sometimes used on the right side of men's tailored shirts in the arm's eye area.